provisions. Good morning. I'm Meredy Lamontia, and I'll be your service leader for today. I'd like to welcome everyone that's here and everyone that's online and those that are watching in the future on YouTube or Facebook. Facebook, right. Here we explore the beauty and wisdom inherent in all paths to the divine. And would you please join me in speaking our vision and mission statement together? We are a heart-centered community seeking spiritual awakening and transformation by deepening our connections with God, self, and others. Now, please stand if you're comfortable, and let's sing our welcome song, Centered in the Peace of God.
Well, good morning, and namaste. And so welcome to Unity of Bloomington. What a great place to be. And so I haven't forgotten, it's time for the kids to get out. Let us release our children down to our youth ed department. Auden and Ethel will meet them in the back. So kids, so for everyone to know that y'all made a beautiful, beautiful video to attract a minister. Mariella and I are gonna work on that and add some parts that now you got me. And we're also gonna spend some time filming the children. So parents, there is a permission form for you to sign so that we can use your children in our video. But Auden and Ethel have that form and they will take care of that. And then this is our namaste moment, so so I see James. I don't know where Maddie went.
She just took the kids out.
All right, so James, you please, I'm asking you, come stand here in the center aisle. We all have so much to be grateful for. You're good right there. But yeah, stay back. But if you don't, I came from a co-op thing that I'm a part of, and I drove down Victor Pike, and I was shook. And then I was grateful, because I realized this amazing family is here today. Seb had some issues with his property. And so I want James and Maddie, when she comes back upstairs, to know that this community is encircling them. They are not alone. That we love them, we are standing with them, and we just want to hug them and appreciate them and get to touch them. They're beautiful children, Ambrose and Marlo. And so let's put our hands to our hearts. This is Memorial Day weekend. I think about all those who sacrificed their lives so that we can be here today. Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and the Coast Guard. My mom is a graduate of Crispus Attucks High School in Indianapolis. Crispus Attucks usually he's called the first enslaved person or the first African-American person, But when I did my research today, he said he is the first American, and I like that, the first American killed in the Boston Massacre. There are so many names that we don't know, but we stand here today. All right, Maddie, come to the center. We want to hug and hug and hug you. So let's put our hands together at our hearts, thankful for those who made the biggest sacrifice that we may stand in freedom today. Make sure you hug James and Maddie in the middle, and namaste. I see the God in you, and I honor that. Namaste. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood as we are here in this sacred space. So if you see Mary Ellen moving around with a camera, I've already talked about we're doing some filming, and then IU wanted to observe how we do our business, so we have an observing, but we're not, your privacy is protected. Let's just take a moment as we step into this sacred space of prayer. Let's breathe in and out, being centered here. Today we gather in the spirit of strength, not the strength of force, but the strength of faith, character, and spirit-led clarity. We begin in deep gratitude for those who gave their lives in service to this country. May their memory be a blessing, and may their courage inspire us to live with purpose and peace. We hold our leaders, local, state, and federal, in the light of spiritual strength. May they lead with integrity, compassion, and clarity of mind and heart. We give thanks, so much thanks, for this sacred space, for the love that surrounds us, the wisdom that guides us, and the sacred space that we are privileged to share. Here, we are strengthened by truth, connected by spirit, and empowered to live boldly. And so it is.
When that small voice of doubt starts to whisper in is here inside of me. All I'll ever need for this life is here inside. All the strength I need to see me through my day, all the love to transform all my fear, all the wisdom to guide my steps each day. It's here inside. Deep inside of me, where all the questions cease, all I'll ever need for this life is here inside. Is here inside of me.
Today's inspirational reading is from the Daily Word. With the strength and power of God, I am unstoppable. Discouragement visits all people from time to time. When I feel discouraged, I do not give up, even if I feel tempted to throw in the towel. Instead, I recognize the feeling as an invitation to strengthen my resolve. I grow in confidence and determination as I draw upon my divine gifts of strength and power. Realizing I have more to rely upon than my human abilities alone gives me the boost I need to keep going, to believe in myself and to know the truth that God is with me. I think empowering thoughts and speak words of affirmation, telling myself I am capable of achieving whatever I set out to do. The power of God surges through me, enlivening my mind with creative ideas and my body with boundless energy. I am bold, blessed, and determined. Now, our musical inspiration, Strength, Courage, and Wisdom by Ginger Curry.
Inside my head there lives a dream that I want to see in the sun. Inside my eyes there lives a me that I've been hiding for much too long. But I've been too afraid to let it show, 'cause I'm scared of the judgment that may follow. Always putting off my living for tomorrow. It's time to step out on faith. I gotta show my faith. Procrastination had me down, but look what I have found. I've got to have faith. It's time to show my faith. We've been elusive for so long, but freedom is mine today. Gotta step out on faith. Gotta show my faith. Inside my head there lives a dream that knows humility. Inside my voice there is a soul, and in my soul there is a voice. But I've been too afraid to make a choice, 'cause I'm scared of the things that I might be missing. Running too fast to stop and listen. It's time to step out on faith. Gotta show my faith. It's been elusive for so long. But freedom is mine today. Gotta step out on faith. Gotta show my faith. Procrastination had me down, but look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. I close my eyes and I think of all the things that I want to see. 'Cause I know now that I've opened up my heart, I know that anything I want can be. So let it 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 be. Strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me.
Wow, what a powerful arrangement of that song. Thank you, ladies. Very wonderful. Jesus was walking around heaven one day, and in a small, secluded garden, he sees an old man crying. Concerned, Jesus runs up to him and says, "What's going on? This is paradise. There should be no tears or sorrow." The old man wipes away his tears, and I know this is paradise. I'm sorry. It's just that many years ago, a son came to me under mysterious circumstances. He went through many trials and had a mysterious transformation. A book has been written about him that has become known throughout the world. I thought I would find him here, but so far I have not. I'm afraid I may never see him again. With eyes wide open, Jesus looks at the man and says, "Well, wait. You weren't by chance a carpenter, were you?" The man looks up in surprise and says, "Yes. Yes, I was." Jesus, in tears of joy, flings his arms wide open and says, "Father." The man cocks his head and goes, "Pinocchio?" Yeah. You had to think about it for a minute. Well, before I get started or continue, I do want to thank, we've had some amazing guest speakers. My daughter Lily and then Ginger brought a beautiful message last week. I want to thank them. I am just grateful for the talent that we have here in this congregation. And so today, you see, Strength That Stands is the title to my message today. And I want to talk about strength reimagined. When we hear the word strength, many of us are talking about, I don't know if you've been watching the NBA finals and the NBA Eastern Conference Final, Western Conference Final, they'll knock down something, those young guys will go, It's like, yeah, that's right. Strength, we think of as physical power, pushing through. I'm going to lift more, run faster. But the power of strength is we're looking at the 12 powers that we're exploring isn't about muscle. It's more about mindset. It's about spiritual focus. It's about unwavering clarity of character. Spiritual strength is the power to live in this world, not with dominance, but with divine dignity. To be in this world, but not of it. Strength is the power to remain centered in truth, while everything around us asks us to forget that we are powerful, that we are divine, that we are the creators. And our strength that we're talking about is not a strength that overwhelms, but a strength that endures, that can stand the test. This is a quote from the Buddha that says, endurance, talking about strength, is one of the most difficult disciplines. But it is the one who endures that comes to the final victory. Strength is rooted in joy. Oftentimes, I think when we think about strength, we think about us struggling. But it's really the energy to endure. Spiritual strength, though, is not forced effort. It is joyful alignment. The Buddha puts it this way: live in joy, in love. Can I have my next slide? Live in joy and love. Even among those who hate, we will live in joy. Live in joy and health, even among the afflicted. Live in joy and in peace, even among the troubled. The Bible puts it this way: the joy of the Lord, that divinity within us, is our strength. Next slide? No? Yes? All right. Joy of the Lord is our strength. It's that internal understanding of our divinity. That joy is not the result of strength. Joy is the strength. And I think for us in a world where we're all wanting to be happy, if I have this outfit, if I have this title, if I have this car, if I have this, if I do that. But that joy is not those things that are outside of us. And I think we have forgotten even what joy is. So if we knew that this is what joy is and I can draw on this joy, it becomes my strength. So what does joy look like? Well, yesterday, Gail and I were out with a beautiful, marvelous friend. We spent 4 hours just talking and drinking and eating, and that was joy. We weren't talking about anything, we weren't solving the world's problems. Like, I shared this story. Gail's brother-in-law, who was a sweet, sweet man, can make a very powerful drink. And so we were at his house years ago, and he loves vodka martinis. Now, I don't even really like martinis, but he's like, you want one? So everyone was having one, so I was like, yeah, sure. So, they got the little fancy martini glass, and it's got the olives in it, and handed me my drink, and I took a sip of that. I saw Jesus, I'm letting you know. I was in another dimension with just a sip of that drink, right? But the joy, right? See, here we go, the joy of that story. It's like, whoo. What does joy look like? Well, one Sunday, James Kerr was our service leader, and I had been downstairs with the youngins, and we had our gratitude circle, something that was started by Makai as she served our children in childcare. So we were having our gratitude circle. So I was sharing during prayer time. Now James is sitting behind me, and I tell how Ambrose, so happy to share that he's grateful for. He was at a birthday party and he was with his cousins. Well, when I watched the video, James had a huge smile on his face. That's joy. That is joy. And I'm inviting us, we really have got to spend more time being joyful. I had Mary Ellen looking at me out of the side of her eye. I was talking about a whole bunch of things, and then I was pontificating about what's going on with Trump. From my undergrads in political science, and I'm a minister, and so, as a pastoral point of view, what is really going on with him? And I said, he's missing loving touch. Said he probably didn't get a lot of hugs as a kid, and he needs some hugs now. And Mary Ellen's like, everyone wants to slap that man. You are saying he needs a hug. That's joy. That is joy, to look in this circumstance and say, you know what? That's what my mom told me. And when Trump first got elected, I said, how are you going to do? She goes, I survived Richard Nixon, so I'm good, right? That's joy, that's strength, that I can endure, I can make it through. That joy. You know, I guess I must have talked about it before, and Angela sang a song. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me, and the world can't take it away. Joy is not in the things of this world. And we have got to, I'm going to say we have got to. I am inviting all of us to spend more time in joy, to find those things that make us joyful. That is the strength, the foundation to be able to endure whatever is going on in this world. Joy. When we're tapped into joy, we're tapped into divine mind, into the knowing that despite appearances, all is well. That is joy. And that knowing becomes our fuel, our anchor, and our power to endure with grace. That gorgeous, gorgeous song, strength, courage, and wisdom. You take a look at the map of consciousness. I'm telling you, Ron and Jonna turned me onto this thing, and I am like, y'all gonna see it all year, just letting you know. But strength, courage, and wisdom, again, that courage is curiosity, that capacity to do something different. That begins with strength. And as you look at this, you'll see that when we get to reason, understanding, our God view is wise. When we can see our own self as being a source of wisdom, we're stepping into strength. When you don't have to ask everybody their opinion. When you are connected with that divine mind in a way to where you know that you know. And the doctor can tell you anything, and the newspaper can tell you anything, and Instagram and TikTok can tell you anything, and you're not denying it, but you can stand and say, just like Joshua said, as for me and my house, we're going to stand in joy. As for me and my house, we're going to move forward in faith in the midst of these circumstances. So let's talk about strength is mastery of ourself, not the domination of others. Lao Tzu says mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. It's that true strength. So talking about internal strength versus external strength. And so look at the quotes we've had. We've had the Buddha, we've had the Old Testament, and now we come again to another part of Chinese sacred spirituality, that this concept that strength is internal and not based on what is outside crosses all spiritual paths. Because I want to get the Quran in here, so don't worry, I got us all in here. But this concept, strength, is within. I had it in strength, courage, and wisdom. It was inside of me all along. See, the world wants to disempower, make you weak. You're only powerful if you drive this car, or live on this address, or have this much money. No, that's not true. Strength and value have been inside of me all along. Now, I've been feeling some kind of way about people wanting to cut Medicaid. In California, it was called Medi-Cal, and I was on Medi-Cal until I was 18 years old. That insurance, oh, is your mom some lazy welfare queen? Better keep my mom's name out of your mouth, okay? No, but where my mother worked, they really controlled the hours because they didn't want to pay the insurance. So eventually with her retirement, which I'm grateful for, she got insurance, and that is paid for her 2 knees, her gallbladder, her pacemaker, right? But Medi-Cal, I am healthy today because of Medicaid. It's not for bad people, unless you think I'm a bad person, then yeah, it's for bad people, okay, right? But it's not for bad people. This is to help people who need a little helping hand. But my health was in me, my strength was in me, and Medi-Cal helped me have that. See, all these mooching people trying to live off Section 8. I lived in Section 8 housing my whole life. It was the help that I needed. But I want less than people that didn't live in Section 8. I didn't even know we were poor till someone said, well, you know, people live in Section 8 and have food stamps are poor. And I was like, right? Because I was joyful, playing with my friends, living my best life, until someone said outside of me that if you don't meet this requirement, you therefore are not this. But the inner strength to self-define, that is power. As we listen, and we're in the 12 powers and we're with Charles Fillmore, again, look how he connected with divine mind across these spiritual paths. Strength is the power to endure, to stay the course, and to remain steady in truth. It's all hidey and good to come here on Sundays, but if you and I cannot take this forward and live it Monday through Saturday, this was a good AA meeting basically, right? This is about showing up in a world where people are lost, where people are in the dark, where people don't know their value. And bringing that strength to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with people. You know, I love the fact, when I think about this congregation, I think of us all locking arms. You're like, Red Rover, send some BS right over, right? And we are, boom, you're not going to get through us. Send a tornado over, you ain't going to get through us. Send famine over, you're not going to get through us, because interlocked, we are powerful. It's the inner strength. And it's that invitation to have more joy in our lives and stand on that strength. True strength is not proving your point or winning. It's about holding ourselves with such clarity that you don't collapse into the chaos around. If the only way you can have peace is when things are all calm, I've got some news for you. To me, if you can be peaceful in the midst of chaos, that is true peace. And that's what the world is wanting, to see people who in the midst of chaos, we're still cool. What does strength look like in these times? I don't know if you know that I was invited to participate in a rally about the lieutenant governor's comments about 3/5 compromise. And, you know, I was like, I'm not going to attack this man. Lily's dad told me years ago, everyone has, actually said, just like everyone has a belly button, everyone has an opinion. Now, he used a different body part, but we are in church, right? But again, everyone's got opinions. So you are fine to have your opinion, and when you try to make that opinion factual, then then we can say something about it. But even when I spoke that day, I spoke about the consciousness reflected in those thoughts, right? Stayed on brand. It is the consciousness of separation that makes anyone try to justify the dehumanizing of other people. It is the consciousness of fear and of lack of your own self that will make you want to put other people down. It's the consciousness. We got to get our thinking right. And the way to do that is to stand in joy. More joy. Strength is to not to yell when provoked, but to pause, to breathe, and respond, just like that beautiful, you know, the other song that Ginger is saying, she wrote that song. Everything I need. To respond from the divine center rather than our wounded edges. Right? That's usually where we're standing, right there on the edge. And, you hurt my feelings, and so now I'm going to... Right? Well, we just took a step back and said, I'm powerful. I'm God. I am divine, and all is well. I see your statements, and I see your consciousness, and I raise you that consciousness. I still love you. I may not agree with you, but I understand the woundedness that is speaking, and you move forward from there. Strength is to stand when everything in you wants to run. Not because you're trapped, but because Spirit, our divinity, has us anchored in our higher purpose. Strength is to stay rooted when the world is spinning and the news is loud. If you're on TikTok, it's like breaking news. Breaking news. We have breaking news. It's to stand when that pressure is rising, when certainty is fading, and yet something within whispers, be still. You are not alone. Spiritual strength doesn't shout, doesn't prove, it remembers. And in remembering, it holds peace. It holds clarity. It holds power. Strength is the power to not be reduced. I'll take my next slide. I know Emily had asked a question like, can we get like a support group on this? And Meredy said the same thing. I understand that this is a different maybe way of using their spirituality. But if not us, who? If not us, who? Queen Maya says, you may not control all the events that happen to you or around you, but you do not have to be reduced by them. The Quran, I told you, brings it this way. Allah does not burden a soul beyond that which it can bear. And I know some of us are saying, how strong does God think I am, right? But the divine within knows our strength, knows our reservoir is never empty. And that even in the hardest circumstance, we can reach down to the roots and pull that energy up. Spiritual strength is not the absence of hardship. It's not, happy thoughts and let's go to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Okay, that's a good place to be. But it's not real life in many ways. Strength is the presence of divine identity in the midst of hardship. What is happening personally, collectively, it may challenge us, but it will not define us. This is the invitation to know who we are. For many of us, we've got to remember we are not our diagnosis. The doctor can, people say, when I go to the doctor, say, do you have high blood pressure? I say, well, I was diagnosed with that. Right? The diagnosis doesn't say who we are. Our bank account, whether you got a lot of money or your money kind of funny, right? That doesn't define. And even our circumstances do not define us because we are beyond those. We are eternal. And we are held eternally. And we are empowered eternally. And the way that we can flip the script on the world is that we have joy. Well, how can you be happy? Did you read the news today? Mm-hmm. Right, but did you read the Daily Word today, right? Are you reading something empowering and inspiring? Can we make other choices? Right, when I see James and Maddie, my heart breaks. But you know what? I'm grateful because I can see them today. I saw a little, Ambrose has always got the most sweet smile on his face. They must be giving that little boy just a bunch of sugar because he's so sweet. Right, but that's a kid's joy. They are like, yeah, we camping out at Granny and Granddad. It's like, camp on, right? Right? Again, so much love surrounding them. Just like when I was a kid, I didn't know I was poor. I went to the doctor, eyes, dentist, every year. Right? We had our own little place. My mother would paint in the house and put up. I didn't know. Because my identity wasn't based on those outside things. It was based on the joy of my family, the joy of living, the joy of having love, community. And that's what I'm inviting us to do today. Not let those things outside of us. Yes, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. I take my little amlodipine and hydrochlorothiazide every day. But I don't let it define me. And yes, sometimes my bank account is not at the space that I want it to be, but that's fine. Because my resource is source. And then our circumstances. I had given up on church ministry. I wasn't returning to the church. I wasn't going to be a preacher. I wasn't dealing with church folks. And yet, here I am, getting told no in so many ways all day. Kathy and Kat were here on Friday. I heard no. They shook their head. Kat doesn't say anything, but she just gives this look like. I said, okay, Kat, what am I doing? Tell me what I am going to do. Right? That's love. That's joy. And there is not one thing outside of me, outside of you, that can affect that. And we have got to remember and live from that space. You and I are divine. And strength is our permission to live from that truth. So if I can have my next slide, Seb. So we've got this closing affirmation. I want you to look it over because I don't want people to be like, well, you know, she just told us what to say. But if this is something that you are in agreement with, let's say it together. I am strong in spirit, steady in truth, and grounded in love. I rise with joy, act with clarity, and remain anchored in the divine. Now, one of the tools that we have given you, this was given at our first Sunday when we talked about faith. There's a few left in the back. When you go to get another one, there's not enough there, just send Kat an email. So this is our workbook to get us through. It involves the maps of consciousness. It has the game plan. All these things are tools to help us on a daily basis incorporate our spirituality and our purpose. Think for a moment of a joyful time. Drop that seed in your heart today and let it blossom to a gorgeous, huge oak-sized tree that others can take shade under, find rest and respite. And so it is.
Centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One, centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One, centered in the Holy Spirit of the One, centered in the Spirit of the One.
Well, as we come to this meditation time, let's begin with the vagus nerve reset. So we're going to take 3 breaths in, and when we release, we're going to, right? Because that sound is going to reset our vagus nerve. We're going to get reset, ready to come in and move with love. So let's breathe in and out. Beautiful. Let's breathe in and out. And let's breathe in and out. And as we continue to breathe deeply, feel the air entering our bodies, a sign that life is moving through us. And now in this space, imagine strong golden roots growing through the soles of our feet into the earth. The roots are our faith. They are our connection to the truth. These roots that are strong remind us we cannot and will not be shaken. Let these be the true words. I am strong. I am centered. I am calm. Let's take another breath in and out. Let this be our mantra for the week. I do not react. I respond from the Christ within. I do not react. I respond from the Christ within. Take those words into the silence. I do not react. I respond from the Christ within. Let's take a breath in and out. Stand in your strength.
I live, I breathe, and have my being in God. I live, I breathe, and have my being in God. I live, I breathe, and have my being in God. And so it is, so it is. Amen. Amen.
We prepare now to show our gratitude for what we continue to receive. There are several ways to contribute to Unity of Bloomington. One is volunteering, and also checks or cash are always welcome. Or you can use the text to give button on the screen, and there's a donate button on the website. As the offering bags are passed, you may want to bless the bags and their contents. If you are new to us, please fill out one of the blue visitor forms in the pocket of the chair in front of you with your first impressions. Prayer request forms are available also in that pocket, and both of these forms may be dropped into the offering bag as it's passed. Greeters, will you please come forward? Please join me in speaking our abundance affirmation together. I am an abundant being in an abundant universe. I'm not dependent on people or situations for my good. God within is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best. I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience.
I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I can create anything I want this life.
greeters please come forward? Please join me in speaking our offering blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. We have a couple of announcements. One is about health and wellness. Today after the service, there'll be another, or the second in a series of health and wellness workshops led by Pei Len Chu. Pei Len is a certified regenerative health practitioner and will share info about the connection between our digestive system and our overall well-being. And the first one she did several weeks ago was just raved about, so I hope you can join her. And now Reverend Minnassa has a few.
Let's see, what am I talking about? Okay. Well, one of the things that I want to remind you is that of a couple of things. As we move into summer vacation, we're still going to need greeters. We still have people coming. And so if you're interested in being a welcoming presence, how many of you felt good because when you stepped in this door, someone hugged you, greeted with you with a smile, wrote your name down on a name tag, made you know that you were valued and welcome here. So for further information, the sign up link is on the screen. Don't we also, Jonna, have a QR code outside?
Yes, certainly.
And we have a QR code outside, or you can see Jonna, Phyllis, or Mary Ellen. So we can still serve while we're here. We'll be hosting a rummage sale, which will be a fundraiser. This is being led by Brianne Browser, and so you'll see more information in the newsletter, and we'll have the times and all those things, but she will be the lead on that, so we're going to need volunteers for organizing, setting up, and staffing. So, you know, as you're changing from your spring clothes and summer clothes, getting ready your winter clothes, you're moving like we did, and it's like, why do I have 7,000 of these things? It's an opportunity to come and be a blessing to someone else. Now I want to talk about summer giving. Carol, who is our amazing treasurer, wanted to send out a letter, and I was all in agreement with that, but someone who during the transition didn't receive the care that they wanted said, well, I couldn't get a phone call, but I could get your letters about money. And I thought, okay, that's fair, even though you didn't have a pastor here. You had a team holding the fort down. So I'm not going to send a letter about summer giving, but remind you that whether there's 10 people here or 100 people, we still have to turn on the AC. We still have to clean the center. We still have our admin. Your minister still wants to get paid, right? All those things still happen during the summer. And so what I did is I used the text to give, and that's how I just give every week. So, or you can send a check, or you can leave your money with us. But just to remind you that during the summer, while I'm going to be off gallivanting, while we're all off gallivanting, this sacred space still continues. And I'm asking you to think about us as you go out of town or on your vacay. And then just, do you know that this is Pacers and Racers weekend? That's right. So don't go to Indianapolis today. Please do not. You know, the Indy 500 is happening. Then after that, the Pacers are playing. They're up 2 games away from the NBA Finals. So let's hold space for them. Yeah. Indiana doesn't have a championship. So let's get one. This is the year to do that. All right. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to have vacation time. It was a treat. I did go to see Beyonce. And it was wonderful. And Chicago, I told Lily, I'm ready for Walnut. I'm ready to get back on college. These people drive like, I don't know what's going on with them. But thank you. Any, Phyllis, Jonna, any other things we need to talk about? Bring kids, come on in. Come on in, Nora. Come on in. Here she comes. All right.
Now, we have our prayer for protection, and then we gather in a circle and sing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now let's join in a large circle and sing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth."